Hello patrons, welcome back to another tutorial. So today I'm going to be going over how I mirror my symmetrical designs when I'm engraving. So here I've engraved one side of this pendant, and what I'm going to use to mirror it is a pretty simple process. So this is actually just lip balm that I melted and then added some charcoal powder in. And so this is just, it's just a black mixture. And so what I do is I just put my finger in it, and all I do is just rub it in the lines that I've engraved. And you can see it just kind of fills in everywhere. And I want to make sure that it goes in every crevice that I engraved. And you can see it kind of defines the design that's there. And I'll zoom in for you so you can see too. So you can see that it's filled in these designs. And what I'm going to do is just go over it really lightly with a paper towel and just remove the excess. So when I'm wiping with a paper towel too, I just want to get something flat so that it doesn't go into the crevices and remove that. So I'm just using just a little eraser, but you can use kind of anything. And just kind of lightly remove the excess. And then what's left is your design. And so from here, I'm using a process of 2 pieces of tape. Now this is just some packing tape I folded over. You can use Scotch tape, any kind of tape works for the most part. And what I'm doing is just laying this down right on my design and being really careful once it's there not to move it or smudge it. And then what I'm going to do is actually go over the design with a scribe and just kind of rub the design into it. So you can kind of see what I'm doing here. And I want to make sure I'm in focus so you can really see. Okay, I'm just going over, and you can actually, if you're looking close, you can see that mixture of charcoal and lip balm just going right onto the tape. So just kind of running over, going over each one of my lines. It's a little tricky because this rubber part is lifting the tape up a little bit, so it's going to be a little rough on that side. But I think we're okay. So from here what I do is I carefully lift up this end, and what I have is another piece of tape. And what I've done also is I've folded over a little bit on each side so that I'm able to peel them apart. Because what I'm going to do is peel this one up really carefully. And you can see already that the design is coming up on this tape. And it's kind of hard to see, but you can see the shape of it right there. And what I'm going to do is stick these 2 pieces of tape together. Now I want to make sure the tape isn't kinked or anything like that. Okay, now I'm just lightly pressing them together. Now you can put it on a desk, rub your scribe over it again, but I also don't want to press too hard and kind of smudge that design in there. So I'm pressing it together, and then what I'm going to do is peel the pieces of tape apart. And what should happen is that ink will go on the other side. It's not ink, it's the charcoal, but this should go onto the other piece of tape. And then I can stick that down on the other side of my piece of jewelry. Now aligning it can be the difficult part. So I am carefully, got to make sure I'm doing the right one, lowering this down and checking all sides because you want to make sure your design isn't falling off to one side before you press it down. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So I am lightly pressing it down. Again, I don't want to smudge it. I just want the design to be transferred enough that I can go over it with my scribe. So you can see I'm just kind of lightly tapping it because I don't really want to smudge any of that. So when I peel this away, there should be enough of the mark left that I can go over and trace my design with the scribe. So this one kind of came out a little faint, but it's enough to make it work. But it's always good to make sure you've got enough ink on there so you can be sure that you've got your full design transferred. But this is going to be enough for me to still trace my design. So I'm just carefully going over each line that's left from that transfer. Now this stage you got to be really careful as well not to smudge it with your hand. So depending on if you're right or left-handed, you just got to watch out for that. But take your time in this stage so that you don't slip or smudge, because once you've done it, it's kind of a pain to redo it. Okay, so I've got all those lines traced in, and what I'm going to do from this point is engrave them, and you'll see how it's mirrored. So there you go. After I've engraved that last little bit, this is what it looks like. So if you're trying to mirror a design, whether it's engraving or really anything, even if they're just components, you can use this method and the tape to transfer and mirror your designs. So rather than just trying to do symmetrical stuff by eye, this is a great tip. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes.